I'm shining so bright you can dim my light. Because I got that glitter, 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 glitter over here and glitter over there, glitter right here and glitter everywhere.
All right, all right. We are so excited today to be here with Pamela Shaw. And if you guys don't know, I'm Artisha Man Cooper. You're one of your hosts, and you're here with Tish. And then we're here with Darkoya Koya Connor.
Yes, yes. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we are here today, like Tish said, with our good friend, Mrs. Pamela Shaw. She is a Hollywood and Broadway actress. She's been in countless productions and films such as The Kids Are All Right, Indigo Lake, and let's see. And currently, you were on Broadway in Naughty with the Band, right?
Well, a little farther from that, I was I was in Australia. Broadway, Australia. Hey, and yeah, in LA and Vegas.
Okay, well that's Broadway. That's Broadway.
I know it is.
East, and stopped by a little occurrence that we're all living in now. But we'll get there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on, Pamela.
Pleasure, really.
Yeah. So, Pamela, how do you feel about everything that's going on right now?
I think it's you got a couple hours. It's the most extraordinary time that any of us have ever been through, in every way, and I think with all the terrible, awful, appalling things, that there's a lot of positive possibilities for all of us, artistically and as a human race, and politically, and fingers crossed anyway. Well, it's a really interesting time though to be quarantined, didn't you think? I mean, what an experience, you know?
What has your quarantine experience been like?
Well, I've been quarantining on 99th and Columbus, and it's actually, except for the horrible occurrences outside, being home and having time has been quite extraordinary, being in one place. And creatively, I've had a good time with it. I'm learning new technical things. And I need a lot of help. And it's just been, I've been writing, and never really done that before, and started songwriting, and which I haven't done in decades. So
yeah, I hear it from a lot of I'm hearing that from a lot of artists, so that they're kind of like in their artist bag right now and trying to figure out on the other side of COVID how they're going to maximize off the experience.
That's right.
So as an artist, has COVID really affected the way that you like usually come up with your ideas? Has it been like a really difficult place for you, or do you feel like it really hasn't made a difference?
Well, it's certainly made a difference in terms of work. I mean, I had bookings that obviously were not. I've been doing this piece that's evolved, Naughty with the Band, and we had engagements and in LA, and so so work-wise, it's been strange. And certainly until fairly recently, no theatrical auditions, except that now there are. And it's all self-tapes, including theater pieces. So there's that. And so work-wise, it's been strange. And, everybody's said like, well, there's no work. And all of us are in the same place. It's crazy. But creatively, it's been a wonderful time to have time to go inside and breathe and see what you want to say and how you want to connect with people and who you want to connect with.
Right.
Don't you think? Did you find that too?
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely found some things that I think that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've been able to do it while in quarantine. So it's been really, it's been really interesting because you have so much time now. You just start thinking about everything that you want to do, and you're trying to get it in right now before everybody opens up. So you'll have stuff,
That's
you know. So that's kind of like part of the thing about keeping your passion is that your passion leads you to things that you can do that you didn't even know that you could do, which is why we're here. We didn't even know anything about really.
You never did this before the quarantine?
No.
Is this a quarantine birth? Wow.
Oh, right. Yeah, we started it in the quarantine.
Wow.
We did. Yeah.
Breath. It's exactly what we're talking about. Exactly.
Right.
That's so cool. That's so fabulous. That's so wonderful. And you know what? If we didn't have time, we would just be doing what we normally do. You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have been, I remember having this secret thought that I think a lot more people had than I thought when I first thought it. God, what a long preamble. Okay. After a month, and I thought this is going to end. We're going to have to and I really thought, I'm not ready. It's not cooked. Whatever is happening. And of course, that's totally divorced from the horror show outside.
Right.
But in terms of being inside in the artistic process and all that, and what the gift of all this has been in terms of creativity and ideas and birthing things that you never knew were going to be birthed. Yeah, I thought, oh, don't let this end after a month.
Right. Yeah.
I think we live in such like a capitalistic society as Americans, and it's all about like work. And, you look at other people in other cultures, and they really do take time to relax and to be creative. And I think in other countries, sometimes like even the arts, like it's just celebrated and valued a little bit more, but they actually have time to, like you said, go within. And with this pause that the pandemic has caused, we all have been able to just take time to like reflect and go within. And that's the very basis for all of the art that we all do.
Exactly.
It's who we are. And Pam, I know that some of the people watching would love to know how you got started in the arts.
Well, I played Mrs. Santa Claus when I was 6. I know you guys are going to relate to this. I think it was about the costume. I do, because I made, the red cotton full skirt for days. And then I put the cotton wool around the bottom, and I had a bonnet with cotton wool and a big bow. And I thought, God, what a great business this would be to be able to make stuff like this. So quite shallow, and that was the start of it. And then I never really wanted to do anything else. I just didn't, even though there's a lot more I'm interested in, but it's always drew me and like glue, and so it went on from there. And so it's pretty much all I've done. And I've gone through, I can't stand the business, and I can't, the business is too hard, I can't do it. We all go through that.
Yeah.
Right.
And we go right on, we get back up, dust ourselves off, and do what our passion is.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot, like artists kind of transitioning to have a business mindset, because you need a little bit of both. What do you think about that? Like, because you just said you hate the business, and I know I hate the business aspect of it. But
well, I hope you don't hate it as much as I do, because it's a huge limitation, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
You, Tish, we don't know each other very well, Darkwa, but we do more. And I think you're very good at the business part of it, don't you think, Tish?
I think I'm okay.
I think
Everyone,
Vantage point, you know, having not seen you in quite a while. I think you got, but I think it's a big limitation to it's like it is saying it's show business. It's not just show, you know, it's business. And if you flee from that too much, I don't think it's helpful to have a platform to be your creative self in. You know what I mean? I mean, how
yeah.
can that all be supported? It all works together. Just like this is such a challenging time for me, honestly, technically. I mean, I like to joke. I just learned how to fax. It doesn't even work, that joke, anymore, because faxes, you probably never even heard of them. But anyway, it's been very challenging to me because I just sort of said, well, I don't do, you know, I don't do technical stuff. Well, what a limitation now. And so
Yeah.
I'm learning and I'm thinking that I find the combination of the technical stuff and the creative stuff fascinating. I mean, I've seen, you know, concerts, I'm sure you guys have too, on Zoom that are really interesting. I'm just discovering a thing called Jam Kazam. You guys know about that? Musicians who are listening, if you don't know about it, find out about it. It's a way I can be here singing with my keyboard player in LA and my drummer in Australia. And we jam without any delay.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's extraordinary. And you have to know how to get up on it. So I'm really, you know, we all have to learn whatever we don't know. And if we don't learn it, it comes back to, you know, bite us in the ass, you know, right?
Right.
I mean, so this is my thing. I had to learn this. And this is part of the business right now, the technical part. Right. So being a business person is, I finally learned in my advanced years, it's not contradictory. It's complementary. But I really taught it for so long. So did I answer your question?
Yes. Yeah. Not contradictory, but complementary. I love that. I love that. I've definitely had to attain a lot of technical skills. Hence my ring light. And you know, I was talking to one of my friends about that, about the resistance, the resistance, and I think a lot of artists, they go through that. You probably can attest to this, Tish and Pamela. Just that resistance when you know you need to do something and it will help you tremendously, but there's always a little, I don't know.
No, I don't want to, yeah.
But if you push past that, you'll find that, like, it's like you said, it's so complementary to what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and it helps your art creatively. And I know a lot of people watching that we've gotten like countless questions about, like, how can I level up in the pandemic? How can I level up technically? How can I level up with, like, even the way that I approach somebody in the industry with an email? Yeah. So what advice would you give other people with your personal experience in the technical realm, as artists out there? What advice would you give?
Actually, it's been a kind of bonus. If you're, would consider myself basically, which is hilarious because I'm not, but I am an introvert, you know. And so sometimes it's been hard for me, the business aspect of doing the meet, greet, what do you call it, networking, But now, since nobody can do it face to face, there are ways to do it through here.
Yes. And
I find that quite extraordinary and very exciting, even worth knowing what a ring light is for. So I mean, grab on to whatever's coming at you and use it is what I believe, you know. And sometimes in my creative life, God knows there's been nothing coming. And that is, we all know, crazy making, frustrating, hurtful, horrible. But it's part of the process. And it all goes somewhere else. So right now, it may seem like everything's, but there's a lot of things that are happening, and just be open to them and kind of grab them. I have to ask you how you got your nails done, and they're pink and I want them.
Well, if we really want to go into it, I went to go visit my best friend, that lady right there, Man Cooper, and we were in South Carolina, and we went to the nail shop. We got our nails.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yours too did.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. We were struggling on the struggle bus for a long time, but we got our lives together.
Too much. It was too much for us.
That was kind of a hot mess of a story, but I mean, I'm happy that something was I got, I have a tip and acrylic. I got something on here. So but I have seen the nail shops. They're open here now because I'm in New York as well, Pamela. They are open now.
They are open.
Yes. So
venturing out. Yeah.
Maybe a mask and
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, Pamela, so there's a lot of artists and entrepreneurs out there who want to know how they can have longevity in their career. And so you've had such an amazing career, and you've clearly in the entertainment industry. How have you been able to have consistency and longevity in the entertainment industry?
Well, for me, I've always been keeping it alive when there's no work by going to class. And I really believe in that. I mean, if you're a ballet dancer, you don't stop doing your bar work. You say, I've done that already. I know how to do that. I don't need to do that anymore. Well, if you don't do that, you can only go to, so I find that very, very nourishing and very important for any artist. Do what you do and find a way to do it. And create your own stuff and go to class and learn and be curious. And I mean, really, that's what we all got. And particularly in this business, which is so crazy and so unpredictable and really difficult as a business. I think every business is difficult right now, except for probably the internet business. I don't know if you work for Zoom, but but it's really hard. So you have to keep your own motor going, and that's what I have found is really important. And also, then the people that I've met through classes from the time I started out are my family. My family, because we all connect from the same source, and we care about the same things, and we've all probably had to fight our battles to stick with it and to be allowed to do it.
Yeah,
I believe in
I hear, a lot of our interviews, there's just this constant through line of create your own content. I mean, we say it so many times to people, like, create your own content. And I think for artists, they think it's like a new thing. Like people are just starting to create content now. But in my opinion, it has always been something that artists have had to do to maintain their careers. I met Kim Cole, and she was on a show called Living Single, and people are like, oh, well, how is it that you're still surviving in the industry? And she was like, because I'm multifaceted. I'm just not just an actress. I wrote a book, and then she had like a series on homemaking, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. To keep it, and also to keep your sanity. I mean, honestly.
Right. And a lot of people don't talk about that, like the downtime and being an artist and an actress. There's like, it's a contract job, you get a gig, and then there's this downtime, and then you get another gig. And so, like what you were saying earlier, I think it's my roommate's also an actress, and she's always constantly taking classes or doing an ensemble and just sharpening her craft. Yes. And she even says, like, even when she goes to an audition, she's just like, listen, when I audition, I'm auditioning because I'm getting in that cast. I'm seeing that casting director. So even if I don't get cast, I'm on their radar.
I'm with your roommate, 100%. Really, that's it.
Right.
And also, there's this wonderful teacher that says every audition is a chance to perform. And that's how they look at it. And, you know, and sort of, I mean, I did a Zoom audition. I did a thing on monologue. I sucked this afternoon, but I did it. And then, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm working on a certain skill set that I feel not so great with. And so if I don't do it, how am I going to do it? You know?
Yeah, I agree.
No, I agree. I agree. And it's not a new concept to like try to level up by finding different skills that you can do, you know, like we talk about the technical skills, but the reason why I became like a line producer is because I wanted to learn how to create my own content. I was an actress, you know, I didn't know anything about this.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's no use.
Yeah.
She is an actress, Pamela. She is.
Thank you.
We are.
We'll have subtext.
Yeah.
When you say that. Yes.
So I just think that there's this misconception when you become like an artist that you are just limited to being an artist. Like there's not another part of you, but we have families, you know, we have things that we're good at. Me and Darkoya, we're fans of Tabitha Brown, which we talked about before, and she's a vegan cook, and her Instagram like show has just like gone off the roof, and people just absolutely love her, and she's gotten so much more press from being a vegan cook than it was when she was an actress. So I think it's also important, even if you're passionate about being an actor, being passionate about who you are and the skills that you have outside of being like an actor or whatever it is that you are particularly doing for a job, you know?
I agree. And also because it's all stuff that comes out in the stuff that you do creatively. If you're just sort of a stagnant person and just only tunnel visioned for the few jobs that come your way, what are you going to bring on stage or that you really relate to? They have some sort of life force that comes out in their being, and that's what attracts you to their acting, really. And it's something, it's not just, oh, well, yeah. I can't finish my sentence. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah. So when you see the comments on the screen, it's usually our viewers.
Well, Pamela is good, do you think?
What did you say, Pamela?
Purple hearts, good?
Yes. Yes. Well, Pamela, I actually listened to your album. Speaking of like projects, I listened to your album. You have an amazing voice.
Oh, thank you. Was it on the website?
Yes, it was on your website.
Oh my God. That's like, yeah. And that's not the recent stuff at all. But yeah, good. Thank you.
But I love that. And that goes back to what you're saying. Like, I mean, when you're probably not auditioning, you're clearly going in the studio, laying down tracks.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, I haven't been doing it recently, but except friends and I do it for each other, but coaching, acting, acting and song, with people. You do everything. Yeah. That's amazing.
The song that you heard, hold on, Bessie, I got to give you a shout out. The song that you heard, the glitter song that we brought on, Darkoya's song, by the way, that was her song. Yes, it was part of our children's album.
You mean you wrote it?
Yes, I wrote it. and I sang on it. I
sang on it?
Yeah, she sang on it.
Told me before, I would have been totally intimidated. Thank you. Oh, it's adorable. It's fantastic. I may want to sing it.
Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. Thank you. Well, me and Tish, we have a motivational, a kids motivation company. So we did it together. We're like the dream team. Like I created, she slam dunks it. That's kind of our dynamic.
How long have you known each other?
10 years. We met in grad school. 10 years, right, Bestie?
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years. 2010. So it's 2020. Yeah.
That's so great, isn't it? And you're doing all this stuff, and who knows? Who knows where it's all going to go?
I know.
Studio. I just heard about this. A friend of mine sent me a mic thing where it's just a foam thing around a mic that creates a studio at home.
Oh, so it closes the sound off.
Yeah.
Just right then and there.
I'll send it to you.
Thank
I'll
you.
forward the link to it. Sounded really interesting.
Thank you. Well, Pamela, so what projects were you currently working on during COVID?
Well, so this show that I created, a one-person music thing, I went over in 2018 to the Edinburgh Festival, the summer, August of 18, I guess. And I was going there with another actor, and we were doing 5 Craig Lucas plays. And my manager at the time said, you know, you really should think of doing 2 things while you're over there, because if you get any publicity, you'll get more. So I thought, okay, another thing, what could I do? And I had sort of been on a diet from music and from performing in concerts and cabarets, because honestly, I thought it's not going to get me acting jobs that I want now. And I really can't afford to do that until I'm on another level as an actor. So when he said that, I thought, oh, maybe I could do a cabaret act. And that would be very gratifying. I could create that. And so I did. And I created this show, Naughty. Now, the reason it's called Naughty is that wait. Maybe you guys can see this if I can hold on. I'll show you the thing. Carry on without me.
You are the show, Pamela. You're the show.
Okay.
I love
This
you.
is one of the things. Can you see this?
Naughty with the band, yes.
So So that's the show. And basically, the reason it was called that is that I was creating it, and as I was, pre-rehearsal for the other plays, and taking my time, you know how we create like this, not and like 6 months before I went there, the manager said, so what's it called? What's it about? What's the running order? Who are the musicians? I said, well, I'm just creating it. And he said, yeah, but they have a 6-month lead on PR over there. So within 6 days, you better have a name and a concept. So one of the songs I knew I was going to do was called Naughty. So I thought, Naughty. And then I kind of tied it in with a lot of the thematic of the other stuff, which was daring to be irreverent, to be who you actually are. And so the theme really evolved from there. So we did the plays, and then I did that, and it was great, and it was the most exhausting. It was a phenomenal experience. And one of the producers over there invited me to do some concerts and some festivals in Europe. And then from there, I got invited to the Adelaide Cabaret Festival in Australia. And I was there for 6 weeks. And then from there, I did Melbourne, and then I did Sydney, and then I got invited to open a club the following year. And then I expanded it to band, and then, LA and Vegas and here soon. And so, what'd you ask?
Oh, just what projects were you working on? So that's your project. Are you
working on it, even though not that actively. I just thought of another song. I thought, oh yeah, I want to put that in it. And I started this songwriting thing with somebody that I met through another manager I was with, a singer-songwriter, very talented, Athena Wright. You know her? Very talented. Anyway, so I did just about 3 lessons with her songwriting things, because I thought I'd love to get back to doing my own music and put that in Naughty the next time. So been doing that. And I'm doing a very interesting acting workshop, which has to do with writing. I did an audition for a film that Michael Bay is directing and producing, I guess. And in it, they asked for actors to film 1 minute of a piece they wrote about what a story that happened to them during this time of COVID, and the pause, and what happened. And it could be anything, you know, happy, mad, funny, sad, you know, anything. But so I did the 1 minute, and I got excited by the writing. And then I got this invitation to this class, which had to do with creating a story that came either or both out of COVID and the Floyd and everything that's happening. And so I thought, this is a way to deepen it and go further with it, because this was 5 to 10 minutes of written stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I just did the first of that. I've got 5 minutes of that, and this is a 6-week course. And so I don't know where it's going to go, but it's very exciting.
Yay.
Yeah.
So has Naughty completely stopped because of COVID, or are you still?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
So Naughty with the band, has that completely like halted because of COVID?
Well, it has so far, unless I get this jam kazam and we end up doing it on Zoom. But I can't. It's a very live show, and
Right.
It's, you know, we've only done it with piano, bass, drums, guitar, but it just, I don't know where it's going to land, but it's very funky and very kind of musically odd and mixed up, and, you know, it has all my my stuff about growing up in New York and being a bad girl with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So it's a lot of fun.
Yes. Okay. I love it.
So I'm working on it, even though there's no work, basically.
Right.
Where they rescheduled me for April. Ha ha ha. Then they canceled. I mean, you know, nobody knows. Can you see going to? No, it's not happening yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Surrender to what is and find our way through that. You know, honestly, that's what I feel.
Right.
But you're still working on it, though. It sounds like yeah.
Yes.
So you're continually working on it.
I'm loving it, and I guess because of the years away from kind of working on my own material, that I work, you know, film and not so much TV, but a lot of off-Broadway here. And it was not only necessary, I wanted to do it, and I still want to do it, but there is no off-Broadway, and there is no Broadway. I mean, so it's not happening now. But all the years that I took off from singing, I really refound an appetite for doing that, and now an appetite for really doing my own stuff. So who knows? I mean, I could suck. It's possible, but it.
I don't think it sucks. I mean, you literally been traveling the world doing what you love and like literally performing in something that you created. I mean, that had to be a great experience.
Well, you know, it was amazing. So we'd been to Australia, and then we came back, got booked in LA. And the producer invited to this LA gig a lot of people for future work. One of them, she said, well, I'm inviting my friend from Vegas, but I don't think he'll come. Well, he didn't come. So she didn't think anybody was there, but he had sent somebody. And that somebody said, I want her, I'm telling my friend that she should be in Vegas. So it's like, Vegas, oh my God, glitter, opportunity, outfit. So it really happened. And I sort of poo-pooed it in my mind because I didn't want to get, I think I would have been freaked out if I'd realized it was in a proper casino. So I just thought it was a little club off the strip or something. And we get there and it's right next, I mean, Barry Manilow's room and this, yeah, no, it was proper Vegas. And so it was very exciting. And I never thought of myself as doing that. But one time, I'm sure I could, but I did not think this show was going to go there because it's rude.
Wow.
You know, it's not it. And so, but you never know. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's so powerful because I think sometimes when we create things, that's the thing about creating your own opportunity. When we create things, we don't know how far it will go or how far it will take us, but we just have to create that. That's very inspiring for me. I know, and a lot of people out there are probably watching. You know, you just never know. You create this thing and it comes from your core. And I mean, look at where it took you and is going to take you, because I'm quite sure you're going to continue after the pandemic.
I'm hoping and I'm thinking so. You know, you never know. But I think you just have to do the thing, right? All of us have to do the thing and then give it over, see where it goes. You know, you can have your likes and dislikes of where you want it to go, but ultimately the universe is going to pretty much decide for us, don't you think?
I think.
Yeah. You know what I'm wondering, like when you were doing your process, were there people in your ear telling you how you should or should not do it, or if there was like a right and wrong way to do that, you know?
You mean to this show or just generally?
Yeah, to your show.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And I was, you know, I listened to I instinctively knew before Edinburgh that I couldn't have a director. That was no, it was going to be my concept and it just wasn't right. But then afterwards I got with some people who weren't necessarily like-minded, and people who thought I should do this, that, and that. And some of them were right. Some of the ideas were great. But, you know, part of the thing of doing your own thing is that it's your own thing. And if it doesn't feel right, it ain't right. I mean, it has to, you know, with anything, with people you like, with choices you make, you just sort of try to listen. I mean, I think that you just try to listen to your intuition. And that in itself is not so damn easy all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, it's like, you know, because you hear all this conflicting stuff and people think you should do this and should do that. But you see, the great thing about the show is that it's all about that. It's about being told no. Don't do this. Don't do that. Be very nice, be polite, you know, and it's breaking out. So anything that anybody told me that was a no was usable in either creating material for myself within the show or using within the material that I already had to impassion me to perform it better. So it's a very good thing to have your own thing for that reason, because nobody can take that one away from you. Nobody. And when you're an actor or when you work for somebody else or when you create other projects for other people, you have to, I mean, look, we all have to collaborate, but that's a pleasure when it's a pleasure. But it's not so much when you're being told. I mean, there are directors that I've worked for in theater and probably will again if theater comes back, that say that you meet them and you've read the play, you've auditioned, and then they say, okay, so on the first scene, I want you to start over there, then you're going to go over there, and it's without exploration of the script, of the text, of what motivates a movement, and it's against my religion, but I got to say yes, I'm hired. But
Right.
this time, when you do your own thing, like you guys, you know,
Right.
you make some collaborative concessions. We all do, and that's life. But you don't really do something you don't believe in if it's yours. Particularly if you're not getting paid a fortune to do it.
Very true.
I mean, you know, there's give and take and that's, yeah. So that's my feeling about it. It's very precious to do your own thing that you guys know, you know, it's very precious.
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to kind of motivate a lot of people to understand that they think that like your managers and your agents, they're doing the hard work, but the hardest worker is you.
Yeah.
You know, the hardest worker when you're trying to advance your career, it won't be them. They'll just piggyback off of the work that you've already done.
So true.
So like I talk to young artists all the time, and I try to tell them like, listen, you have something in you outside of this that can advance you to where you need to be at. You just need to figure out what that is. You know, you need to figure out what that is. Everybody has something, Pam.
Yep.
Everybody has something.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I'm a keen believer in that.
Me too. But also in the time that it takes to, you know, sometimes it happens instantaneously, and sometimes it just takes fucking forever. I'm gonna say fuck in here.
It's okay.
All right. No, but you know it does. It's forever, or else it's not. And it, yeah. I think it's so great that you're mentoring people like that. You know, I just think it's fabulous. And the kids thing that you're doing, I really respect that. That's so great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But we're not only doing kid stuff though. Hold up. Victor's doing some stuff too, right? Your husband, Victor?
Yeah?
Yeah, Victor is doing kid stuff too, right?
Yes, it's kids involved. It's kind of medically involved because he was a doctor. So it comes from that angle, and it has entertainment in it, but it's kind of clinical, and yeah. So it's a whole different thing. Look, I'm very grateful for him because he's become he's my reading partner in my self-tapes. Also my cameraman. So I guess he is in the business, sort of. But this project is more medical. But yeah, that's great. I want to hear that song. You know I do.
Yeah.
Wrote it, and you're saying, "Oh my God!"
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Pamela, I hear you talk about your husband, and just you're so positive and so passionate. Like, how have a lot of things have been happening? I know a lot of people have just been talking about everything that's been going on, and I mean, some people are dealing with the pandemic very negatively. You know, they're in a very bad space, but just seeing your energy, seeing your light, like how have you been able to stay so passionate and keep your spirit have your spirit uplifted in the pandemic?
Well, I do a lot of work with myself, on myself. I meditate, I do yoga, and I'm do whatever spiritual work I do, not necessarily in a named thing, although I can say that I deeply am grateful for something called the Sedona method, which if anybody wants to, have you heard of it? It's just brilliant, and just been a really helpful tool for this time. And I actually would say to everybody listening that you would do yourself a favor to look on the sedonamethod.com. Obviously, I'm not a member of the faculty or anything, but I just really believe in it. So I do that, and I have a wonderful relationship for which I'm unbelievably grateful. You never know what it's going to be like when you're quarantining with your partner. We've been sort of separated because I've been traveling a lot, and so but it's been delightful and delicious and lovely. And there's a lot to be grateful for, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you've been doing like a lot of self-care, it sounds like. That self-care, that word, I think I've been hearing that a lot from people too, who do have like more positive takes on what's going on, is that they're taking the time to really just take care of themselves, to meditate, like you're saying, and to also, like, I've talked to so many people who are telling me that they're learning how to polish their own nails.
I know. I find the pedicure part a little challenging, but okay, I've done it.
Yeah, and and they said it's a hot mess, but that's okay. Self-care.
Okay.
We're gonna figure it out anyway, right?
What about cooking, ladies? I mean, I've never cooked so much in my life.
Yes.
So I'm ready to open the restaurant. That's it. But it's been fun. Sometimes it's a drag, of course. Things are not always but I think allowing yourself to go there and to have deep friends, which obviously you guys do and are. Deep friends, deep relationships, deep inner relationship with yourself, deep inner relationship with your creativity and your passion. And you don't, that's our only hope, I believe, how to ride an outside that is so damn unbearably insecure. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. So there is no other way except the way in, I think, and to create from that and to, sing out and write out and connect with beautiful people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have oh, sorry, Bessie, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, did you, prior to the pandemic, did you have like a practice of meditation? Because I know like, I'm an actress, but I know like a lot of artists, they talk about like getting your mindset right, getting your mindset right for auditions, getting your mindset right to do the craft. Was that like a practice prior to the pandemic for you?
I certainly have been involved with the Sedona method for a long time. And that's very helpful. That has to do with, I guess, not feeling feelings, but separating from identification with them. Kind of, it sounds more heady than it is. It's quite natural. And I did do meditation, but I wouldn't say I'm a meditator. I started a few years ago, and I'm not always wanting to do it. It's not like I'm, I'm more like, let's dance. But I know that it's like a discipline, and I know it's good. It's truly good for me because, and this has been the bonus of this time, because now it's very obvious that there's nothing else to count on, really. And it's about connection. It's about connection above, heart, soul, through living and life and loving and music and music and art and all that stuff, isn't it? I mean, what else is there? So it isn't like I was always great at that. Listen, I just started yoga 3 years ago and love it. But the only thing I would ever do would dance. I mean, I'm like Miss Zuma or something,
That's not like me. I do that. I'm like, I don't really like being in the gym like that, I'm more so like, just give me some dance music.
Yeah, do you do online?
No, well, before the pandemic, I was taking classes that I was getting very good at. I was very good at my classes, and then now they have it online, but I keep missing it because everything's so crowded on the internet.
They're at all times. You don't have to. There are Zumba classes that you can put on for 15 minutes, half an hour, anytime, day or night. You just put it on. You go on and you YouTube and you blah 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 blah, and you move, shake it around. There it is, done.
I'm with it. You got to call me then, Pam.
I will.
I'll do it.
Are you guys going to do a group Zoom session?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I will Zoom all day, every single day. That workout, let me pick up the weight stuff. It just is too much for me.
That is me. That is me. I like
You do a Zoom weights?
Well, I just like prior to the pandemic, I was doing HIIT, boxing. That's more my lane. Like dancing and all that. I mean, I did it for many years doing musical theater, but it's not like my sister who's probably watching. She's the dancer. Like I'm not, and Tisha's the dancer. I do it just for what I need, but like. I'm more so of a like, let's just get ripped and
wow,
do it. Yeah.
I mean, it's so great. You're like polar opposites that way, right?
I know, but you wouldn't think so, because you would think it was the opposite. Some people think I like to dance and Tish likes to lift weights.
No, I just won't do it. I mean, you can ask my husband about it. He tries. He gets so frustrated with me. He tries, but I'm just not going to do it.
No, but I don't know why you're not doing Zumba online. I'm going to get at you.
I think I am. Now that you mentioned that, I think I am going to do it online because I love dancing. Let me tell you how much I love dancing. I ordered Dancing with the Stars. Like it was like a thing on Amazon. It was like a, like a DVD. Like it was like 3 years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to dance like how they're doing Dancing with the Stars. And it got lost in the mail. And I was so mad.
Oh, no.
I was so mad. I never got it. And I had to.
Pamela, you need to just invite her to a Zoom class and she'll go with you.
Not only that, I have a friend of mine who lives in Denver who does Zumba. She got me to a guy who's taken July off. He's come back in August, but who was in Dancing with the Stars for 6 years and now does like a Zumba thing. Okay. Yes. I'm going to pass you on all this stuff. You have no more excuses. You can have fun. I do it.
Oh my gosh.
Minutes, and at least I feel,
That would be so fun. I would love to do that. Yeah. So, Bestie, let's get to the protest question, which is the question we ask everyone every time we're on the show. Yes.
Okay.
I'm
ready.
So, Pamela, we love how we're seeing various ethnicities that have helped to protest racial inequality and injustice in our country. And have you been protesting, or
protesting from inside?
And that's okay, because activism takes on many forms. Yeah. But I've been out protesting, and some of these chants, they're very creative and some of them are just funny. Like, so there's one that's like, you about to lose your job. Like, it's just like, it's hilarious. If you were leading a protest, what would your chant be?
This is the question you ask everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, how long do I have?
You can take as long as you like. Like what your message that you would want to give to the world. That's kind of really what it is.
Grow from this, learn from this. Take it seriously. Take it seriously and make it now.
Oh, come on. Come on.
All right. All right.
Now.
Make it now. And, I say I haven't protested. I don't mean to say, well, I'm sort of sitting in here and not. I was worried in terms of masks and all that. But I've been very involved, and I am very involved, and it needs to happen. Yeah. It needs to happen now, and it is. I don't know what's going to happen with our politics or what. I don't know.
Right.
No, we don't know.
Right.
But I do know something's happening. Don't you feel it? I mean, something.
I feel it.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
feel it.
I do. And I just to piggyback off of what you said, and I do want to kind of talk about that on here because I see it happening on social media a lot and I really don't like it. It takes a village and it takes multiple people in different positions to activate change and for change to happen. For some people, their activism might be protesting. For other people, their activism might be calling people in like their local political officials. For other people, it might be donating to bailout funds or to different organizations. Activism looks very different for everybody. So I really want to say that on here. And I also want to say, please arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. We usually say that in the beginning of our show, but we believe, like the late great Nina Simone said, it is a artist's duty to reflect the time. So we believe in using our show and our platform for change, and that's our form of activism. So
God bless you for doing that and for weaving this into your charming adorableness and to really weaving it in and saying this happens every show because we created this show and this is what it is right now.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's just there are no words for, and I sort of am over the words for the disgust and the repulsiveness of what's happened. But it's going to be used for something. Just like having some troubles can also be used for something. It's just what we're talking about the artistic work, and this is it has to be used now.
Amen.
Well, it will be. It will be. And as long as we have people who, and I believe in artists so much and how we change the world, how we change the perspective of people, how we're able to take art and to use it as a platform to make change. And I think I've had so many conversations where I've told people that, as an artist, you have a real responsibility, not just to say, I'm just going to throw myself, especially I deal a lot with women, because I've been a woman in this industry and I've been behind the scenes for a while. And I'm just like, you got to help me help you so we can make change. And that's the same thing that I would say, for people out here, like, help us help you make change, like stand up for when you see something's wrong or you see somebody do something wrong, then just like being a person who says, you want to know what, I'm going to stand up for something right, it makes a difference. And that's what I've been doing mostly for my career. While I love what I do, I've been doing that for people, and I just think it's just going to be what everybody's going to do now. So
you were ahead of it. What do you guys think? I mean, what do you guys think about wearing masks?
I think it's life or death. I mean, they have done studies where people who have been out protesting or, in close quarters with each other, they have shown that if both people are wearing masks, it significantly reduces your risk of infection. And so I think that, it just all goes back to selflessness and loving each other, because you wear a mask, not just for you, you wear a mask for other people. You wear a mask because you could be asymptomatic and give it to somebody else in your home, or you wear a mask because you might be carrying it, and when you go out you might be around somebody that is at risk, so I wholeheartedly believe that we should all wear masks, and I think, like you said earlier, about all of this is going to lead to some good. This is really kind of checking a lot of people, checking their value systems, literally before it was like, I'm busy. Now it's like, oh, I have food. That's so amazing. Like, thank God. Like, oh, I have time with my spouse or my friends, there's so much stuff happening in the world that it's just really creating, at least for me, and I know a lot of other people, a sense of gratitude. So, and just selflessness. It's not about us. We are a world. We are all interconnected, you know?
I think we felt that probably in this business more than everybody, but I think everybody, it's seeping in. But okay, let me throw this and see if you guys have any suggestions. And if not, let's figure this out, and let's figure it out on air, because maybe we can create something. What to do about people who don't wear masks, and what to do. In other words, there are times where I would say something, but it's New York, honey. I don't want to, you know. Scary. That is scary. What do you do? What's the political thing about that? What can we do?
It's very difficult because what I've found living in South Carolina, there's like people who wear masks and then people who don't. And sometimes the people who don't, they're so far away because everybody's so spread out that it's not a big deal. But then our numbers are going up now. So maybe it's a big deal. So let me just take that back. Our numbers are going up. So it's very difficult to really say things with people because everybody has a belief about the mask. Some people believe that it works. Some people believe that it doesn't. So like, even when like I'm around people and you almost give them like, do you have your mask stare? Like you don't really say anything, but you put it on like, where's your mask? And they just look at you like in like carelessness, So I think it's just going to be very difficult because you have one half of the country that's like, wear your mask. The other half of the country is like, why are you making us? We're Americans. Why do we have to?
We have our own voice. No, it's true. Yeah. I find that really, I don't know how to deal with it. And I don't know if anybody does. And it's very scary because of what you said. Yeah. I mean, it just is. And people, I mean, I was in a food place and I was in a health food store, whatever, and the guy had a mask like this. And I was like,
I've seen that. Because Tish knows I'm on her about that one.
Right.
I'm like,
for
the mask.
Yeah, you do.
But you know, Pamela, I spent a lot of the better half of the pandemic very fearful, very scared of getting COVID, and just like, I think before this happened, we didn't realize. I was a little bit upset because I said, even if I'm taking all the necessary precautions, it's like I could be affected because of other people's actions, and that was very different for me. And one of the things that I just really had to work on, and I think, therapy and just kind of coming to my own, just grounding myself mentally, I just realized, I said, I only have control over what I have control over. I don't have control over everybody else on the street. So for me, it was really more of a paradigm shift because
fascinating.
I can't make a person outside wear a mask. All I can do is when I see them, move away, and just wear my mask. So taking ownership for myself and then just really releasing that, because I just realized, like, living in fear is not living at all. It's living in captivity and chained. And I just said, I would rather spend, be in a mental space and spend my time creatively and just free. We have no control over that. And I mean, if it takes them 2 years to find a cure or however long, we're going to be in this. And I said, you know what? Nope. And literally nothing changed. My mindset just changed about it because we just have no control over it, unfortunately.
It's true, but it's that balance, and this gets back to the whole racial stuff. It's the balance between, what we don't have any control. Is this what it is? There was always going to be blah, 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 and saying, wait a second.
Yeah.
So it's that balance, and I totally am with you about shifting from fear to fearlessness. I really work on that myself, and I get it. I'm just wondering, I don't want to be passive. you know, and
Right.
allow behavior, because I don't know, I guess maybe there is nothing to be done.
Oh, you know what you could do, Pamela? Maybe like we should create like a shirt that says "wear a mask," and like we could create a whole
That would be
shirt,
I love it.
or like
That's a really good idea.
little hoodie. It could be like "bedazzled," wear a mask, and we could just like hashtag it.
Bedazzled.
Yeah.
Did you say bedazzled?
Yeah, I would
bedazzled?
bedazzled mine. Mine would be
Okay.
bedazzled with rhinestones and
With
glitter.
jewels and glitter and like, okay. I'm
Because
sorry.
it would get attention on the street. Like if it was bedazzled, you understand what I'm saying?
I do. Bling wing pins. If nobody listens to anything else, they listen to bling.
Yeah,
But that's a great idea.
that is a really good idea, actually.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Look how we just came up with a.
Right in the world.
Yep.
One bedazzled at a time.
All right, guys. Well, we are ending. Oh, bling bling.
Bling bling.
Interesting. That's so funny. So we're at the end of our show. So I'm so glad, Pam, that you were your energy,
Pleasure.
and compassion.
You're just gorgeous, and it's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Pam, you
and
can
so
stay on.
let them know. So her Pamela's social media, she's on Instagram, Pamela Shaw, and on Facebook, Pamela Shaw, and your website is PamelaShaw.com, correct?
Well, Pamela-Shaw.com.
Pamela-Shaw.
Yeah, and her Instagram is PPP Pamela Shaw.
Yeah.
Just to put that out there.
Yes.
PPP Pamela. It's 3 P's, Pamela Shaw. So follow her on Instagram, guys. Listen to her music because she has an amazing voice.
Yes.
And we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs. I just learned that term, you know.